Wet on wet technique in watercolor is a technique where you get beautiful blends from the edges of the watercolor. And this is something that you can control with wetting the background and adding your pigments. Here's a page from my sketchbook. Now we hear that term a lot, but there's also a lot of variation. Both of these are considered wet on wet, and yet there's a lot more highlights. So you can vary wet on wet technique and get different results, but still have those soft edges. And here's a version that really shows through by putting a dark ink. See how the edges are nicely blended? There's no harsh lines, except where I wanted, around the border. To recap in a nutshell, when you paint with watercolor, if you want to do wet watercolor on dry paper or wet on dry, you just take the color of your choice and put it where you want it. Now here I'm just making a line, and here you can see that nice edge. And that's a very effective strategy, but it doesn't take advantage of the beauty of watercolor. Wet on wet is where I have a wet background, and for this technique I'm just going to use clear water, and I'm painting kind of a rectangular shape. And then I'll take that same color and just drop it in. And now we watch the watercolor move around, and now we can watch the edges, they're diffuse, they kind of do their own thing. But most importantly, it's just a blend, a very quick gradient from the edges to the actual pigment. And depending on how much water you use and how concentrated your pigment is, you get a different effect, and that's what you want to practice. So now one way that I practice in my journal is I create pleasing shapes. These are just some leaves, and I just played with the colors that I have on my palette. I didn't mix them, I just wanted to work on a soft blend, and it's good practice. I cut a little leaf shape out of some cardstock, and now I'll just trace them onto my paper here. The key to tracing them when using watercolor is to get a waterproof pen. A micron pen is excellent, I use it all the time. A Uniball pen, the Uniball Vision, or even a cheap fine liner. As long as it says waterproof, and then you just let it dry. I like to use the micron or the Uniball, and I just take my template and then I draw my shapes. So now I have my shapes and I have a brush. I'm using a 6 round. It's just a nice brush. You can use any brush you want. Our goal here is to practice those blends. So I'll start right in the center here, and I'm going to wet my leaf shape. And I'm going to try and wet almost all of it. I like to leave a little boundary around the edge of dry paper, and then I just wet the rest. You can look for the glare on the camera. And then I'll take my color. In this case, I'm using a yellow-orange. I load up my brush. Now I don't want it to be dripping, but I want that brush to hold a lot of pigment. And then I carefully go around the edge. I'm not trying to fill the shape, I'm just trying to get that border around the edge. And I like the way that looks, but I'm going to come over and do a second layer. I want a little more vibrancy. So once I have that outer shape, I can see how much it's blending in. I'll wet my brush, so it's just clear water, and now I'm dabbing it. And this dabbing motion allows the color to move around. By dabbing the water, I'm allowing that color to travel. Now I like the look of a highlight, a gradient from the rich color to the light color. So you can play around with that. And the beauty of this technique is that you just play. You use whatever colors you want and just play around. For this one, I'm going to vary the colors, making a little bit of a pattern. So I'm going to saturate my paper, and I play with the amount of water on my paper. If I add too much, the color will travel too much. If I don't add enough and it's dry, I'll get that harsh edge. And that's why it's nice to play with this. I can also play with how much I want to fill in. This color in the center is filling in quite nicely. It's a lot lighter than this one, and I kind of like that variation. And I'll continue this throughout the piece here, alternating my colors. Now for this leaf, I'm using a lot more water than I used on the others. I can either blot it with a paper towel or let it seep in. So I'm just going to let it seep in, and I'll work on my other leaves. Because on the color wheel, yellow, orange, and blue and purple are opposites, I think that looks nice side by side. So I'm just taking some violet and creating my shape. And this is good practice for control of the brush, as well as achieving that nice blend. And over here you can see that harsh line, and that's because the paper is dry. And now I'll work on this one. Now, some people develop their style where they like every bit of that paper colored in. Other people like to have a lot of what I call holes in their work, where there's a lot of paper showing through. It really depends on your style and what you're going for. Both are perfectly acceptable. So let's try making a little more holes on this last one, just to show you what I mean. I'm going to take my yellow-orange, complete the outline, and now when I go back to add my next layer, I'm going to purposely leave spots so that I have more highlights. I still want to make sure that there's a nice edge, and to do that, because I can see that my paper is still saturated with water, I can tilt it around. If I want more of a blend, I'll just go in there with a brush with clean water and just help it move. So this is great practice for wet on wet, looking at the highlights that naturally occur with the amount of water you use. By practicing this technique, you get to control it a little more.